Hey everybody, it's me, it's Thor. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Thanks for all the returning viewers and everyone who's recently signed on to hang out with us. It's been a pretty wild weekend as far as that goes, so I'm really grateful for everyone who's subscribed and has commented, and it's cool. We got a good set of conversations going. A lot of people gave me good advice for dealing with the crazy telly neck. I've decided to hang on to it for the time being and just kind of see if I can acclimate to it. I played its first gig this past weekend. Yesterday. Was it yesterday? No, Sunday. I had a one off gig with Izzo Fitzroy, who's a really incredible singer based in London, and I fill in for her guitarist sometimes. And I decided to bring that guitar along. And man, it knocked it out of the park. It was fantastic. Some things I want to tweak on it as far as sound goes. I think I need to bring the pickups up. But regarding the neck and its playability and my comfort, I think it's just a matter of having an awareness while I play it, while I get acclimated to the size of the neck and the shape of the neck. Uh, and as long as I warm up slowly and don't let myself get carried away with certain, perhaps already bad habits I have, everything was fine. I felt great. It didn't slow me down. I was able to express myself. I was able to play very freely. So it was great. It was a great experience. Really beautiful gig. I didn't take any footage or anything because that's something that as this relationship develops between you and I have to figure out exactly how to go about it. You know, because it's one of these things. Like the way I see it, when I'm on a gig, especially a gig where I'm filling in for somebody, that's the job that I'm on. You know what I mean? I don't want to take attention away from that. Uh, I don't want to add extra stuff for me to do that might take my mind out of the right there and right then of the situation. Uh, I'm there to play music. I'm there to play music with this group, which is awesome. It's such a good band. Uh, so I got to figure out how to bring you along when I can. This particular stage, it was outside the city of Nantes, which is in the northwest of France, and it was a big, beautiful stage with a really killing PA system and a sound guy who knew what he was doing, and it was right on a lake, and the sun was setting on the lake. It was just a breathtaking day, and it was a breathtaking set of music. Really great crowd, no complaints whatsoever. I was able to have time the following morning, get myself a delicious, delicious pastry. Um, and now I'm back to the swing of things here. Uh, and, you know, I was this morning watching some various things as I do. And man, I saw a video that really well put together. And I'm not going to name names, 'cause I had never actually seen this person on YouTube before, but they clearly do a thing and have a following. And it was very conceptual about an approach to jazz. Uh, and it just got me thinking about, I've talked about this again, but I think we're overthinking a lot of this stuff. You know what I mean? Because as far as like roots music, American roots music, jazz, blues, rock and roll, the people we look up to, the old timers, I only mean old timers in the sense of people long ago. You know, the original explorers of this music, they learned music and then they developed a vocabulary. And now it seems that the world is developing education systems for us to learn their vocabulary and to put very scientific sounding words to explain this stuff. Uh, I like to think that a lot of these people just made these like harmonic choices because they sounded cool. You know what I mean? Not because uh, they thought about upper extension triads, and man, there was even some words in this that I wasn't even familiar with. And keep in mind, just to clarify, I'm not a schooled musician. I am a self-taught player. I've had like in the 32 years that I've been playing the instrument, I can count the lessons on my hands. And that's not a showboat thing. That just shows that if you really want to learn this stuff, you can learn it. And I made an effort to learn music. When I was a kid, I really wanted to play with other people, so I joined the jazz band in school. And in order to play in the jazz band, you had to play in the concert band. So I had to learn an instrument. I had to learn trombone. So I played trombone. Uh, and but that's really sort of the extent of my formal musical training is jazz band and stuff like that. Uh, but in order to play in jazz band, I had to learn chords. So I got obsessed with learning chords. I had this big poster on my wall that just showed chords. And it showed chords with the root note on the E string and chords with the root note on the A string. And it was just a bunch of different chord voicings. And so I just learned that stuff. And that sent me down a path of wanting to know more about it and wanting to know more about the ins and outs of this stuff and see if I can wrap my head around it. So I understand music to a certain extent, but there was concepts and words in this video that I watched this morning that I don't know what those words are, and I think that for some people they can be a good learning tool, but I'm not sure if they really matter. Does that make sense? I don't want to sound like a dick, but I just think everybody, if you want to learn a style, there was a great. I'm going to quote somebody who I actually don't know who I'm quoting, so pardon me. Years ago, Martin Scorsese did a series of documentaries about the blues, right? And each separate documentary was directed by a different director. And there was one directed by Clint Eastwood. It was about piano blues. And it featured Dr. John. It talked about Pinetop Perkins and Professor Longhair. And there was this one guy in the video. I feel like such a jerk, but because he played a pretty prominent role in the documentary, but please keep in mind, it's been 25 years since I've watched it. But this quote stuck with me. And someone asked him how to learn jazz. And what he said was, what you need to do is learn your instrument. And if your fingers go to jazz, then you'll figure it out. And that resonated with me. So that's kind of the approach I take with learning your instrument, is learn music on your instrument. And your tastes will guide you. You know what I mean? Like when I do lessons with people, I try to just kind of teach them. I maybe try to steer them towards a style they want to play if I'm capable of doing that. I can't teach all styles. I don't know all styles. But if you can just grasp what your music and what the difference between this and this, you know what I mean, and this and this, then you have the building blocks to do what you want to do, because no matter what, you're going to dig what you're going to dig. So you're going to want to learn that stuff anyway, right? It's just the name of the game. You can't change your tastes. You know what I mean? You are attracted to what you're attracted to. So I think a lot of these very in-depth academic ways of teaching can be just as hurtful as they can be helpful. Because I don't want to come off saying that you shouldn't study music and nobody should be teaching music, and maybe I'm just too much of an adult to understand these concepts this person's talking about, but I just don't think Bill Evans thought about these things when he played. I think because he was a master of music, he studied music, but I just think he experimented, you know what I mean, and developed his voice that way. So find your voice. I kind of shot off the cuff with this one, so a little bit rambly, but I guess the moral of the story is learn your instrument. uh, yeah, anyway, that's it for today. Moving forward, I got to figure out, as this develops between us, as I talked about before, I got to figure out a workflow. I got to figure out how often I'm able to make these videos. Right now, I got some time off, so you're going to get a lot of me. Um, but yeah, let's grow together, everybody. Let's figure this out. Um, Hope you're having a great day. Hope you are going to get a chance to eat some delicious food. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye.